All right, I'm just gonna say this off rip. This is the best camera that you can buy, period, full. I've used this thing for 10 minutes. The amount of money that you have to spend to get something like this is absurd. This in 2016 new was like 5 grand. These basically look the same now. Okay, so right now, I'm shooting on manual, 1/60. I'm shooting at 24 frames per second, which is really 23.98, f2.8, and then auto ISO. And there is some sort of image stabilization built into this. I'm gonna do a quick test of that right now. Okay, it was off. Digital IS is off. I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna walk a little bit. It's on now. There's another sort of more intense setting, but I think if you leave it like this, it should be fine. I'll turn it up one more notch. Okay, that digital IS is fully engaged now. It's cropped into my face because it kind of chops off the edges so it gets rid of the bounce, but I think I'm gonna turn it back down to the one right below this. Oh yeah, it is pretty slow. Weird, when you're recording, it's pretty slow. Yeah, this camera is $900. For you to spend $900 and get an image like this, oh my God, we've come so far. And to give you a sense of how light this thing is, this is an Insta360 monopod. It's crooked because the floors in here are crooked, but to give you a sense of how light this camera is, this thing is like fully up, right? And it doesn't tip over because it's not that heavy at all. Now this thing is on a monopod. If there was a heavier camera on there, there's a high chance it would just tip right over. Okay, first order of business before the day gets started, I need to set my watch properly. The minimum focus distance on this camera is ridiculous. Okay. We do really live in a time where you can get a USB-C chargeable, not exactly pocket camera, but this thing is so small. Like for comparison, this is an R3 with the big boy lens, not even that big of a boy. And this is just big. Now, like, here's a Canon 80D with an 18-135, like not small. And the fact that I can get this close, I can zoom. I got a screen over here. This is a touch. I mean, it's just the list of good things is, this camera is stacked. First order of business today involves the stealth. I'm missing a belt. Also, my tail guard snapped off. You can barely see it. You see that green thing? That's supposed to stick out like here on the V2. You can see it here, so it prevents the tail from wearing down. I have another one of these at home. I also have more belts at home, so we're going home. And it has a recording indicator that just stays red. That's crazy. It doesn't even blink. Look at that. It just stays red. Wild. Wild. They really thought of everything. I can't get over how light this camera is. This is gonna be a crazy comparison. This is gonna be a crazy thing to say, but it's like as light as my phone. All right, I gotta fix these settings. This thing has a built-in ND filter. That's unreal. That's unreal in a camera this small. And I've got the windscreen on here, which is connected to like the hot shoe mechanism slider piece thing. New Model 3, nice. Got the lens nice and wide. Even though I have the stabilization on, you still get a pretty nice wide shot. Also, it's finally fucking warm. I know there's at least one of you that's wondering, at least one person that's like, why is your grip tape disgusting, Sam? I rode over dog shit the other day and there was dog shit all over the grip tape. So I took a dude wipe, like a butt wipe, and wiped the thing down. And it like, you know, was kind of peeling the wipe. So that's why, yeah, this is absurd. This is one of the most, this is the tightest. Oh, both things are so dirty. Just another day in paradise, you know? Yes, sir. Yes. Oh my God, and I have the cable stays. I'm gonna save these. When riding a boosted board with one belt, you get half the torque because one of the motors is just spinning freely, not attached to a wheel. Makes the board a bit tricky to ride just because it's like kind of lopsided, if that makes sense. Okay, cut to me fixing the board. All right, first order of business is swapping the bash guard in 3, 2, fixed. We are we're in business. If you happen to be in New York and you also play the piano, and it also happens to be a Monday or a Thursday, it's not either of those, it's Tuesday today. If you find yourself downtown, go to the Oculus, the giant mall that looks like a whale carcass. They have a piano that is a publicly playable piano, and it's from this organization called Sing for Hope. They have public playable pianos. I believe there's 1 or 2 in Newark Airport. I am friends with the gentleman named Patrick who works in the Sing for Hope piano's physical location. Check this out. I am in the Mecca. There's probably, if I had to guess, 50, 80 pianos in here. This is the Sing for Hope. I don't know if you could call it the headquarters. This is where the artists come and paint the pianos. Patrick is back there at his desk, so kindly lets me come in and play music on these amazing pianos. Just look at how many pianos there are. There are pianos for days. So these over here are set up to be painted, as you can see, with the tar. And Sing for Hope, like I said, is a nonprofit organization. They deploy these pianos in public spaces for anyone to play them. How cool. See, this says for you to play. I feel like that place, that room, that office is like out of a dream. Like, when was the last time or ever, have you ever seen 80 pianos in a room like that? So cool. Only in New York. Everything you've seen in this video was shot on this Canon Powershot V1. I wasn't kidding when I said this is the best camera that money can buy for the price, the size, portability. It shoots 4K. The audio is amazing. The colors are amazing. It takes regular SD, so you can just put it in your MacBook. Yeah, there's a lot to like about this camera. I'd say my only gripe, and it's like barely a gripe, when you have a tripod or a monopod, something screwed into the camera, it blocks the battery door, which is also the SD card door. So you have to like take the camera off to get the SD card out. Otherwise, Canon. And yes, I know this is not your typical tech review, but Colin just got this thing. I was excited, and I just wanted to make something shot in landscape orientation. It's been years since I've run and gun with a camera in this. It feels amazing to shoot for fun, edit, and just post. I can certainly go more in depth with comparing this to 1DX2, 1DX3, R3, even 80D, but that thing's kind of outdated at this point. I wanted to keep this fun, simple, and practical. And I feel like the real world scenarios, you know, being outside on the skateboard, in a quiet room with the pianos, you get an idea of how good this thing is. Earlier, I said it's not exactly pocketable. Like, it could be maybe ever so slightly smaller. That's not me complaining. But when I was going around with the camera, I was holding it in my hands, specifically attached to this Manfrotto little monopod tripod little holder thing with a swivel ball head. So this just screws into the bottom of the camera, and then you can hold this like this. But man, for 900 bucks, yeah, this thing is hard to beat. Okay, just a quick comparison. I have the Powershot V1 next to the R3. The R3 body, which is what you're watching right now, is $4,000. And then the lens is another $2,000. So this is a $6,000 setup, and this is a less than $1,000 setup. The image here is probably sharper and crisper because of the size of the lens, but you're spending 5 or 6 times more to get a picture like this, whereas this looks pretty damn good for what it is. It does fit in a pocket. It does. It goes in there. It's a bit of a bulge. Do you want to be carrying this in a pocket? Probably not, but it's really portable. And then here's what this beast looks like, again, for you to see. Gigantic lens, R3. It does have a flip out screen though, which is nice. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed, smash the like button, leave a comment if you want more like this, and I'll see you again soon.